Imagine waking up before sunrise in a Roman military camp. The air is cold. Smoke still lingers from last night's fires. Around you, thousands of soldiers are already awake. Some sharpen their swords, others pack their equipment for another long march. But before the Roman army could conquer half the known world, there was something even more important than weapons: food. The success of Rome's armies depended on what soldiers ate, how they cooked, and how their supplies were organized. A hungry army cannot march far, but the Romans understood logistics better than almost any civilization before them, and their soldiers were surprisingly well fed. So what exactly did Roman soldiers eat during military campaigns? To understand that, we need to step inside a Roman camp and look at the food that fueled one of the most powerful armies in history. Roman camps were incredibly organized places. Rows of leather tents filled the camp, each shared by a small group of soldiers who lived and cooked together. Cooking fires burned between the tents, and soldiers prepared their own meals using simple tools and ingredients supplied by the army. The food was not luxurious, but it was practical, filling, and designed to keep soldiers strong during long marches and brutal battles. The most important food for a Roman soldier was not meat, it was grain. Grain formed the foundation of the Roman military diet. Every soldier received regular rations, usually wheat, though barley was sometimes issued as well. Roman historians like Polybius describe how soldiers were given large monthly portions of grain to sustain them during long campaigns. This grain was incredibly versatile. Soldiers could grind it into flour and bake bread, or boil it into a thick porridge known as pulse. Pulse had been a staple of Roman diets for centuries. It was simple, but filling. Grain slowly cooked in water, sometimes mixed with salt, herbs, vegetables, or small pieces of meat. For soldiers marching long distances and carrying heavy equipment, this kind of dense, energy-rich food was essential. In many ways, grain was the fuel that powered the Roman Empire. One of the most common foods in Roman military camps was bread. Unlike modern armies, Roman soldiers often prepared their own meals. Many soldiers carried small hand mills that allowed them to grind grain into flour. Archaeologists have found these grinding stones in Roman forts across Europe, proving just how common this practice was. Once the grain was ground into flour, soldiers mixed it with water and sometimes salt to form a simple dough. This dough could be baked on hot stones, inside portable ovens, or even buried beneath hot ashes from the campfire. The result was coarse, heavy bread that could last for days. It was not soft like modern bread, but it was incredibly filling and perfect for soldiers who needed large amounts of energy. Although grain dominated the Roman military diet, soldiers also ate meat. Archaeological discoveries from Roman forts across Europe reveal bones from cattle, pigs, sheep, goats, and even wild animals. Pork was particularly common. Roman soldiers enjoyed foods like salted pork, bacon-like cuts of meat, and sausages. Salted meat was especially valuable because it could be preserved for long periods during long campaigns. Meat was often cooked together with grains and vegetables in stews. This allowed soldiers to stretch limited meat supplies and feed many people with a single pot of food. While meat was not always available every day, it added important protein and variety to the soldiers' diet. Beyond grain and meat, Roman soldiers relied on several other important foods. One of the most valuable ingredients was olive oil. Olive oil could be used for cooking, added to bread or porridge, and even used for medical treatments. Roman supply systems transported olive oil across huge distances to feed soldiers stationed far from the Mediterranean. Cheese was another common food. Hard cheeses were easy to store and provided both fat and protein, which helped soldiers maintain their strength. Roman soldiers also drank wine. But this was not the expensive wine enjoyed by wealthy Romans. Instead, soldiers usually drank diluted wine, or a drink called posca. Posca was made by mixing vinegar or sour wine with water. It may sound strange today, but it was refreshing, safe to drink, and helped prevent dehydration during long marches. Food also played an important role in Roman military discipline. Commanders carefully controlled the distribution of rations. Soldiers who broke rules or performed poorly could be punished by receiving lower quality food. One famous punishment involved replacing a soldier's wheat ration with barley. Barley was considered inferior food and was usually fed to animals. This punishment reminded soldiers that discipline and performance affected every part of military life, even what they ate. The Roman army is often remembered for its powerful legions, its engineering skills, and its military discipline. But behind every Roman victory stood a carefully organized system that kept soldiers fed and ready to fight. Bread, grain, salted meat, olive oil, cheese, and diluted wine formed the everyday meals that sustained Rome's armies. These foods were simple, practical, and perfectly suited for soldiers marching across continents. In the end, the Roman Empire wasn't built by swords alone. It was built on logistics, organization, and the daily meals that fueled the soldiers who carried Rome's power to the edges of the ancient world. If you enjoyed this story from the Roman army, subscribe for more history of food and empires.